Hello, my name is Megan Edwards, and I will be answering the What is Psychology questions. Question 1 is, how has your understanding of psychology changed since the first video? I would say it has improved, definitely since the first video. I've gained a lot more knowledge in terms of why, how, and what. In my first video, I talked a lot about how my mom was an influence, and she still is. But knowing everything that I know now from a standpoint of study and personal growth is something that I have found to be very important from my first video until now. 2 is, if you could redo your first video, what would you add or say differently? I think I would add some personal aspect to it, more for myself. But I don't think I would say anything differently because I feel like I have grown a lot since then in terms of my knowledge from my studies. And 3, what 2 key terms or concepts were the most impactful in the way that I view psychology and why? Some of my things that really stuck out to me, that really put things in perspective and still stick out until this day in my social interactions and everyday life that I've noticed are my meta needs. That was a really interesting part of the chapter, just within my personal growth and learning a lot about myself too, as well as my self-actualization within my ongoing growth. This year has been really insightful for me personally on a personal level. And just getting out of a lot of cycles that I was stuck in terms of my mental strengths and abilities. I was in a mentally abusive relationship for a long time, so this is the first year that I'm finally able to really hone in on my nervous system and my mental capabilities and my mental strengths and my emotions. So this class has been really insightful for me pertaining to that as well, because it's been really great to not only learn about psychology, but learn about it within myself too. And developmental psychology was also another one that kind of changed my view, especially within addictions. I have 2 adopted little brothers that I've spoken about in a few of my assignments, and they both were born so they're adopted, as I said, and they both were born, one was born slightly addicted and the other was malnourished just from birth. And they have been a huge insight into my learning within my studies and how I've seen the world, especially within psychology, to see how their upbringing with us versus their life from birth until now, especially with their the way that their brains are wired, whether that be from just our genetics, because they are family, from genetics, but also through how they were raised and how the traits of their mother and their father have come through, and their biological parents and things like that. So seeing that take place in real time and learning about it within my studies has been very informative. And those are some of the few of many takeaways that I have in terms of things like that. So it's been very eye-opening and very interesting to learn of things that they maybe had gone through and how their brains were working and growing and formulating before we met them, and how that has changed since then as well. Has been very, very impactful in the way that I view psychology, and especially after learning about it more, has been very interesting. And the areas of psychology that I find most interesting and why, also within these that I had just stated, there's so much that I've learned within the studies, especially developmental, social, and kind of like I said with my personality, with things that I've dealt with. Biologically, it's really amazing too, especially how my mom finds it so interesting and how I do as well. I see a lot of myself with her and her within me, and things like that. So this has been a very interesting class, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. So thank you.